a great fucking hit. Oh my gosh. Okay. So at this point, it's fuck winter Santiaga. I mean, for me. And really, for me, it's always been fuck winter Santiaga. I just felt like she was never likable, right? But I do remember at the time, I was reading, I can't remember how many books I was reading. At the same time that I was reading The Coldest Winter Ever. Shout out to Sister Soldier with her ghostwriting ass. Well, the book, anyway, I feel is ghostwritten. But yeah. And I've heard a lot of people say, and I don't know what's going on, but I've noticed that there's been, oh, that's right, because I think she put out another book, right? There's been an influx of, is that the word that I want to use? A surplus? There has been an increase in the amount of videos that I've seen in regards to Sister Souljah. I mean, overall, really, not really tied to The Coldest Winter Ever, but it was just interesting to see that her name was still out there. And then I saw that another book had been put out. Listen, I was totally put off by the Midnight series. I just was. Because I just felt like, who's buying your book, Souljah? Is it Ling Ling? No offense. But sorry, not sorry. I mean, but seriously though, is it Ling Ling or is it Tasha? Who's out here buying your book? Anyway. My basis though for accusing The Coldest Winter Ever of being ghostwritten, and not necessarily by Sister Souljah. Either Sister Souljah wrote The Coldest Winter Ever and she did not write the following books, or she did not write The Coldest Winter Ever and wrote all the bullshit that came after it, with the exception of Little Portia Santiaga's story. I only made it about halfway through that. I'm actually going to attempt to revisit that, because at first I'm like, why the fuck is she 8? Speaking like she's fucking 40. But my little jump off in Jersey told me to give it some time. So I'm gonna take his advice. I'm gonna give it some time. But yeah, yo. Fuck Winter Santiaga. I've not ever really cared for her character. I thought that her character was more amusing than anything else. The only time I'd ever seen her even remotely affectionate was the only time I even liked this bitch for even a millisecond. Right? And it's hard to find her likable when you read it again as a grown-ass woman. Like a grown-ass woman. You're not a grown-ass woman until you're 28, right? And there are a lot, I feel like someone would say, I've been paying bills, I've been on my own, I've been living by myself and holding down jobs since I was 16. That's great. But bitch, you are an exception. Clearly, you're not a rule. But I feel like I don't need to tell an intellectual being that. So, moving on. She was just very smug and just very... Anyway, like I was saying, the only point in time that I ever even looked at her and like felt any fucking like just a tinge, right, of any emotion that I felt anything for her was when she saw her father at her mother's funeral. And that's just because I was, and I still consider myself a daddy's girl for sure. Spend way too much fucking time with my parents. I just do. But my parents, and you know, I'm grateful for my parents for sure. I'm playing the hand that I was dealt. I've lost a lot of fucking people that would have been extremely close to me. I lost people that were so close to me that had they still been alive, I probably would not interact with my No, I really wouldn't. I spend so much time with my parents. It's fucking crazy. My parents are fucking insane. They're both Leos. They're fucking crazy. And my mom's favorite thing to say is, oh, my gosh, you have to understand, your father is not a real Leo. His birthday is on the cusp. And I'm just like, you're such a hater. But like, she's right though. Like, his birthday is on an exact cusp. However, my late fiance, my late best friend, his birthday was on an exact cusp. My birthday it's not, it is. Fuck that. It is. It's on an exact cusp. So I'm biased. Anyway. So I really felt for her in that moment when she said, "Hi, Daddy." I was like, okay, there's the human being that I've been like, there's you know, because she's just like such an unlikable bitch. She starts off like, I'm that bitch, me and my friends, and and you're like, okay, all right. And so you really try to like embrace the homegirl, right? You're like, okay, she's trying to give off homegirl vibes. And I think that most women have been in that situation where we meet someone and initially they rub you the wrong way, but because everyone else seems to like them, you're like, okay, let me give them a chance, right? And that's how I read her. That's how I read her character. I was like, okay. But like Zakiya and Natalie and Simone and whomever the fuck else, like they all seem to like her. Right? So let me give her a chance. Like, let me give Winter Santiaga a chance. She's just very braggadocious. And, like, I get it, right? Like, and she kept trying to say, I'm not saying this to brag. I'm not saying this to brag. And I was like, bitch. So, like, by chapter 3, I was just like, I don't like this motherfucker. I don't like her. I don't like her. Let me say, though, I'm stoned. That wasn't obvious. That wasn't clear. Your girl is stoned. You know what? That's weird. I've not ever, but I'm stoned. Anyhow. Right? So she was just very like condescending. She was like, and the like, okay, and I'm gonna mention a movie here, and I'm not gonna talk about it in too much detail because I do plan to discuss it at a later date, right? There's a moment here with her where she could have been brought back to reality. And it happens very early on in the book. It's with Midnight. When she says to her mother, he doesn't like me. And she's like, nah, he likes you because, you know, you're Winter Santiaga. She's like, no, mommy, he doesn't like me. And you're like, oh, finally, bitch. You're not as dim as I thought you were the first, several pages. You're not as dim. And then her mother says to her, no. You just have to understand. And it's like, bitch, no, she gets it. And it didn't make me think of, because obviously this book is much older than this film. A blonde actress whom I love, Charlize Theron, young adult, where you watch her go through all this shit, right? And then at the very end, where the reason that she the reason that she was visiting her hometown in the first place, read her. And she tries to keep her dignity, but, it crumbles, and rightfully so, because you're just like, the whole movie is just like cringe. And it's a great movie. It really is. But see, I just, I can find great in a good storyline, I feel like. So even if like and I'm not saying the direction was poor or the acting was poor, not at all. Not at fucking all. That fucking cutie, what's his name? Patrick Wilson. Yes. Yes. Anyway. Shit. But yeah, like, and he reads her, and she like crumbles, and she's like, oh my god, I made a fool of myself. And then she goes to like her friend, and he's like, yes, you made a fool of yourself, but it's okay because I love you. And then like, as she's walking out, and as she's like passing the sister's like, no, you're not the problem. Everyone around you is the problem. And she says it with like so much conviction that like Charlize Theron's character is like, thank you. And I'm just like, oh fuck. Like she learned like almost. Almost. But then I'm not gonna ruin it. Like I said, I'm not gonna talk about it in depth. But yeah, fuck Winter Santiaga. She's just like, ugh. And what was crazy was that she did not see and okay, so my problem with her is that she really had this mentality that like street smarts, the ability to hustle, the ability to basically know it all, like she felt like it was inherited. And even Santiago tried to tell her, like, he's like, no, mommy, nope. I run this show. Like, you're who you are, and you have what you have because of me. And she's just like, Poppy, give me credit. Like, you don't understand. Like, and I'm just like, oh my god, bitch. Cause you just know that like Winter was one of those bitches, and I think she like referenced complexion. Like, you just know she's one of those bitches who, like, being from New York, if she could, the fact that her last name was Santiago, she would have tried to get it. She would have gotten away with, I'm Afro-Latina. No. But then again, she could have been. She could have been. And I guess for me, it's confusing because when she bumps into Dulce at the prison, and Dulce's like, no, I don't know who you are. And she's like, bitch. And she puts like such a distinction, I guess. For me, I felt a distinction. Maybe I just read too much into it. Because her father's name is Ricky Santiaga, and she describes him as having like Billy D. Williams type hair. Billy D. Williams was all Negro, baby. I believe, right? I could be wrong. I don't know. But my point is, she just came across like as she was a fucking pick me. Was she though? I don't know. Let me retract that statement for now. I'm not ready to come to that realization because I'm not sure. I've got a couple other names that I want to throw out there for this character. But yeah, just very like she acted like it was all inherited, and he tried to tell her, nope. Like, it's because of me. Like, I'm that dude, right? And she's just she knew better. But then for me, what I was like, bitch, you came for Natalie's man though, bitch. And then come to find out, you know, Natalie's man wasn't all that she thought. And I mean, I don't know if that was necessarily homophobic. You know, I don't know. I don't know, because I mean, she was just like, yo, so you like getting your dick sucked by guys, but you're not gay? And like, that's just weird though, right? Because like, I don't know. He was basically saying like, you know, that he'll get it from wherever. And she was like, oh, I know what it was. Well, what it would be for me. Because I felt that shit. And I feel like where she was coming from, and maybe, I'm not sure if I'll have to go back. I'm not sure if she articulated this or not. I mean, I'm fucking sitting here staring at the fucking book. I don't feel like picking it up. I'd rather smoke my cone. But I think what it would have been for me, it's like, he said, he basically referenced a fiend. Yeah, he basically referenced a fiend. And she's like, but don't fiends have a higher probability of being ones to use and share needles? Because like, you're a fiend, right? And the definition, I mean, the street definition, I think, of a fiend, right? The idea, the street idea, let me say that, the street definition idea of a fiend is someone who knows no limits, someone who will do basically anything to get it. Like Aldous Snow in Forgetting Sarah Marshall, and he was like, oh no, this is, what do you say, like 7 years sober, 7 years clean. You know, if I have a sip of that champagne or a sip of that drink, I'll be you know, like rimming the waiters for their tips. Like, that shit's funny. But like, you have to know your fucking limits, right? And I forget why I said, oh no, but I was going off the, you have to know your limits. Fiends don't know their limits. Fiends are out here like sharing needles and shit. You out here getting your dick sucked by a fiend. There's a higher probability that something could be transmitted, something could be passed along. I'm good. But it's like, damn, girl, you had to do your girl, of all people, bitch, you had to do Nat dirty. Even though, but see, yeah, I don't think that Nat was throwing shade, popping up with the Chanel suit. Like, I just don't. I think that, like, she was like, look, bitch, look, I know that this is like a throwback to you, bitch, but I'm stunting. And Winter was just like a hater ass bitch. She was like so desperate and so thirsty to be on top, but bitch, And it was weird because, like, she was always saying loyalty, loyalty, loyalty. Santiago taught me loyalty. Did he, bitch? Did he? Oh my gosh. And don't get me started with the shit that popped off with Bullet. What? Like, who didn't know that her ass was being set up? Who didn't know? You pulling up in your mom's whip while your daddy getting raided, though. That was fucked up. That was fucked. And it makes me, and I don't know, did Bullet say, because Bullet, you know, Bullet put her up on a lot of game, and she was just like, that's the thing. There's not a loyal motherfucking bone in this girl. I just couldn't fuck with her. I couldn't fuck with her. And a lot of people say, like, the shit, it hits differently when you're a grown-ass woman listening to this shit. Woo! Boy, I tell ya. That shit hits different. Because at first you're like, yeah, okay, I get it. Like, she's like a hood bitch. Like, this is what hood bitches do. No, she wasn't no hood bitch. She was a dumb bitch. Simone, Natalie, those were some hood bitches. Boosting and shit. Bitch, getting down for a Chanel suit, bitch. Yo. And then when homegirl was like, bitch, I bought it when what the fuck? Basically insinuating that her shit was auctioned off. Like, yeah, bitch, bought it at a fucking auction, bitch. You're like, damn, Nat. Damn, Nat. Yeah. But I got it, though. Natalie is like, damn, bitch, like, I've been rocking with you, though. Like, I've been rocking with you, bitch. You're not loyal for shit, bitch. And then how she did Simone. Simone was out there boosting and shit, knocked up and shit. Boosting. I wonder if Santiaga's not a likable bitch in the least. And then when she was, oh my God, the arrogance. No, I'm jumping all over the place because, like, the fuck? What the fuck? Homegirl's lit. It's lit. I'm high. And, like, my pets are fed and quiet. I just checked on, like, the kittens. They're fucking asleep. I fucking hate that shit. Like, when they put shit in your YouTube recommendations, like, every time I fucking log on to that shit, and I don't know why my shit keeps jumping around so much, because, like, I watch the same shit, right? I don't know why my shit keeps jumping around so much. Anyway, but when she had the nerve, when the guard approached her after, like, he pretended he was what's that dude's name? GS. But he wasn't GS, he was GS's bodyguard. Like, I won, I'm that bitch, I won. Had unprotected sex with this dude. And was kicking it with Bullet and shit. Like, when her plans were interrupted to go see Midnight, she was about to hop her ass in a train and stalk Midnight's fine ass. And I just don't. In a perfect world, the coldest winter ever exists, and Midnight, the story of Midnight, whatever the fuck it's titled, does not. I would like to think that book, that atrocity, it was abominable. It was abominable, and I kept thinking that part 2 was gonna, like, redeem it, right? Nope. You know what they don't show anymore? Yuck. What they don't show anymore, Adventure Time. Come on, grab your friends. Jake the dog and then the human. You know what? They have not shown that. But I haven't really been, it's been a while since I've looked. Wait a minute. Do I have it set on DVR to record? Sorry, guys. The brain activity of a stoner. Bear with me. What was I talking about? Let me find my recordings. Series. Okay. Was I talking about adventure? No, it's not. Probably because when I searched for it, let me search for it. We gotta get rid of this shit. This shit is expensive. And they don't even have, like, the shit that I want to see. Okay, adventure. There's a lot of shit with adventure in the title. Fucking, I've been at 47 items for, like, all of them. Okay, whoa. Okay, so no. They're not showing it. Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure. Yeah, boy. But I think I've already recorded this. Which one is this? The Excellent Adventure. I can never. This is the first one. I like the second one. Bill and Ted's. Fuck, I can't remember. But anyway. Take the dog and then the what the fuck was I saying? I'm all out. I'm all out of love until I about you. Here we go. Yeah, fuck Winter Santiaga. She's so fucking unlikable. When they bumped into GS's bodyguard, like, walked up on her and he was like, Sasha, my name ain't Sasha. And he was like, yo, back up. You don't know who the fuck this is. He was like, Sasha, you don't remember me from GS? She's like, oh, you. And then she was like, oh my God, I don't know why GS looked out for me, bitch. He probably, like, legit didn't remember you. Like, you're probably just like every other motherfucking groupie to him. Right? But she's just like, I don't know why he protected me. Maybe he was looking out for himself. Just so fucking arrogant, yo. So fucking arrogant. Like, the audacity, bitch. The audacity. And then her dumb ass. She was so fucking dumb. Like, look. Like, I'm the type where, like, I can't lie. I cannot fucking lie on the spot. I can't lie. I just can't. Because I can't keep up with that shit. I smoke way too fucking much. Like, I'm sitting here playing with these fucking cones instead of just choosing one. I smoke way too fucking much. I couldn't keep up with this shit. Like, I can barely keep up with... Like, I don't even remember what the fuck I just said. I just don't. When it came to her getting that abortion, she was dumb as fuck. She could have cleaned that shit up. She could have said... And again, I'm against lying. But if I was one like some, but now that, like, I'm grown as fuck and my mentality's different, you know, like, I'm a firm believer in the good girl goes from being good to being bad, and the bad girl goes from being bad to being good. I mean, you get tired of doing, everyone needs a little bit of change. Some revert, you know what I mean? But everyone needs a little bit of change. All she had to fucking say with her dumb fucking ass. And this is why he dipped on her dumb ass. Because he didn't fucking trust her. Like, I feel like her ending would have been totally... And it probably would not have... It would have bought her some time at the very least. Because, you know, karma's going to catch up with everybody. It just does. It just does. It's going to catch up with everybody. But instead of her being smart about that shit, she should have sat there and said, fuck, what am I going to do? She knew she was being watched, though. She knew she was being watched. She knew Bullet had little homie on the doors. She knew that he was having him watch her come and go. She said that shit. She said it. And instead of her saying, she just fucking failed. I was like, bitch, like, like, bitch, like, we're all the way to the end of the fucking book, bitch, and you haven't used your brain not fucking once. You've not used your brain not one time. That shit's irritating. That shit, I was just like, and I was no, I won't say that I was upset that more didn't come to her, that more didn't happen to her, because exactly what the fuck needed to happen to her, exactly what the fuck needed to happen to her, happened to her. She got that ass sliced. She got that ass sliced. And I think the stupidest fucking reason for having a problem with another woman, and she thinks I hate that shit. I didn't understand it as a fucking kid. Like when I would hear like the occasional, because it was rare. It was rare. It was much more rare when I was a child than it is now. Like, that's all the fuck you hear now, and it's so sad. It's like, who the fuck are you guys compete? But little girls, little girls have to grow up. But it's so sad that they want to be women. So that's for another day. Yo, I'm hungry. What do I want to eat? What do I want to munch? Oh, you know what? Let me go munch some pretzels. Actually, though, let me go ahead and round this up. Because, I mean, I could go on and on. I mean, the book is not, like Harry Potter long. But we could be on this shit, like, all day. What she should have told Bullet, what she could have told Bullet is, Bullet, oh my God. Oh my God, Bullet. I was out shopping and I just started feeling so sick. I just felt so sick. I just felt so sick. And I immediately went to the bathroom and I threw up and I said, oh my God, there's wetness. There's some shit, right? Wetness in my underwear. I was bleeding. It was bleeding, Bullet. And I rushed myself to emergency. Bullet, to emergency. And they told me, that I was pregnant. But that the baby, something happened to the baby inside of me. And it didn't look good, Bullet. And I ran away because I was just so afraid. I ran from that hospital, Bullet. That's why I don't have any papers, because I just ran from the hospital. And just on a whim, I just said, you know what, I can't carry this dead baby inside of me. I can't. I need to stop at this clinic and see what they can do. And they felt so sorry for me, Bullet. They did, Bullet. They felt so sorry for me. Then right there, Bullet, right there, they helped me, Bullet. And I know that you're not gonna understand, Bullet, but I need you to understand, Bullet, because I need you, Bullet. I need you. Bitch, you could have sold that shit. Bitch, you know what the fuck he would have done? He would have fucking deaded his operation, bitch. For you, because you were fucking Winter Santiaga. A dumb bitch. A dumb bitch who knew he was involved with your dad's takeover. Because he said it. He told you that he was involved. He made it clear that he was involved in your father's in the takeover of your father's shit. He knew where the fuck your father was the whole time. Bitch, you so loyal to Ricky Santiago. Fuck what he had going on with Dulce, right? Because you were the daughter. You weren't the wife. You were the daughter. But you were just so, such a fucking know-it-all. Such a fucking know-it-all. What the fuck were you trying to get to, bitch? Where were you trying to get to? You weren't trying to get to your father. Because you could have been did that. But you sitting here, oh, Bullet, I'll wait for you, Bullet. At the same time saying, I had to get my own. I had to be smart. I had to go ahead and store money. But Bullet, I mean, even Midnight told you from day one, bruh, you're a fucking dumb broad. And be with him, you could never. You could never. But you just thought you were so fucking cute. You just had it on fucking lock. Winter Santiago, I don't fuck with her. I just don't. I don't fuck with her. All right, I need something to eat. I'm out.